An update now on a story the News 4i team first told us about. We've learned the death of Lauren Smith Fields has been ruled an accident. This is according to the medical examiner in Connecticut, who says she died due to acute intoxication from the combined effects of fentanyl, other prescription drugs, and alcohol. Her family has told News 4's Sarah Wallace that the report just brings up more questions, since they say Smith Fields was healthy and had no history of drug use. Their attorney says she died after a date with an older man she met on the dating app Bumble. And now her family plans to sue Bridgeport for negligence, claiming key evidence that could have helped determine what happened wasn't submitted to the state lab. The mayor of Bridgeport is promising an internal investigation.
On December 12th, 2021, it was a Sunday morning in Bridgeport, Connecticut. 23-year-old Lauren Smith Fields was found unresponsive in her apartment. What initially appeared to be a medical emergency would soon raise serious questions about investigative procedures, transparency, and the treatment of victims. Lauren Smith Fields was born on January 23, 1998, in Connecticut. At the time of her death, she was 23 years old, young, ambitious, and navigating early adulthood with a clear sense of direction. She lived in Bridgeport, a coastal city known for its working-class communities and diverse population. Lauren was the eldest daughter in her family. She was especially close to her father, Everett Smith, who often described her as strong-willed, intelligent, and deeply caring. Her family remembers her as someone who brought warmth into every room she entered, someone who could make others feel seen and valued. She attended local schools in Connecticut and was known among peers for her outgoing personality. Lauren had an interest in beauty, fashion, and social media. She maintained an active presence online, sharing snapshots of her daily life, her style, and her relationships with friends. Like many young adults of her generation, she was building a digital identity alongside her real-world ambitions. At the time of her death, Lauren was studying to become a physical therapist. It was a goal she had spoken about with pride, helping people recover from injuries and improve their quality of life. Her family says she was disciplined in her studies and took her future seriously. Despite her outward confidence, Lauren had experienced challenges. Like many young women, she navigated relationships, social expectations, and the pressures of independence. Still, those who knew her insist she handled life with resilience. She had a strong support system, including her younger siblings, whom she loved deeply and often looked after. Her apartment in Bridgeport represented a step toward independence. It was her own space, where she hosted friends, studied, and lived her daily life. It was also where she would spend her final night. In the days leading up to December 12, 2021, there was nothing that suggested anything unusual or alarming in Lauren's life. She communicated with friends and family as usual. There were no signs of distress or concern that would indicate she was in danger. On the evening of December 11th, Lauren used a dating application to connect with a man named Matthew LaFountain. According to later statements, this was their first time meeting in person. The two arranged to meet at her apartment. It was not uncommon. Many young people meet new acquaintances in casual, private settings, especially when connections begin online. LaFountain arrived at Lauren's apartment that evening. According to his account, they spent time together talking, drinking alcohol, and watching television. He would later tell investigators that Lauren had consumed tequila and that they had also played games and relaxed together. At some point during the night, LaFountain stated that Lauren became ill. He described her as going to the bathroom and vomiting, which he attributed to alcohol consumption. He claimed that after this, she fell asleep. There is no evidence that anyone else was present in the apartment that night. According to LaFountain's account, he woke up early in the morning on December 12th. He told police that Lauren was still asleep beside him in bed. He described noticing that she appeared to be snoring, which he assumed was normal. He stated that he got up, used the bathroom, and then returned to the bedroom. At some point, he realized that something was wrong. Lauren was unresponsive. Instead of immediately calling emergency services, LaFountain reportedly contacted a friend first. After that, he eventually called 911. Emergency responders arrived at the apartment and attempted to assess the situation. Lauren was pronounced dead at the scene. From the beginning, questions arose about the sequence of events, particularly the delay in contacting emergency services and the decision to call a friend first. These details would later become central to public scrutiny. The Bridgeport Police Department began their initial investigation. However, their handling of the case quickly became controversial. LaFountain was not detained or arrested at the scene. Police reportedly did not consider him a suspect at the time. He was allowed to leave the apartment. Perhaps most significantly, Lauren's family was not immediately notified of her death by the police. Instead, they learned about it through a note left on her apartment door. When her family arrived at the apartment, they were confronted with a devastating reality, but with very few answers. Inside the apartment, they observed items that raised concerns, including what they described as blood on the bed sheets and other evidence that they believed warranted further investigation. The lack of communication from law enforcement deeply troubled the family. They felt excluded from the process and unsure of what had happened in Lauren's final hours. The initial police report suggested that there were no signs of forced entry or obvious foul play. Investigators noted the presence of alcohol in the apartment. LaFountain told police that he and Lauren had consumed tequila and that she had become sick before going to sleep. He denied any involvement in her death beyond being present. Police also found prescription medication in the apartment, which Lauren reportedly used. This detail was included in the early narrative of the case. However, key investigative steps appeared to be missing or delayed. The family later alleged that the apartment was not thoroughly processed as a potential crime scene. Evidence was not immediately secured. LaFountain was not subjected to immediate, in-depth questioning. These concerns would later become central to public criticism of the investigation. An autopsy was conducted by the Connecticut office of the Chief Medical Examiner. The official cause of death was later determined to be acute intoxication from a combination of substances, including fentanyl, promethazine, hydroxyzine, and alcohol. Fentanyl, in particular, is a powerful synthetic opioid that has been linked to numerous overdose deaths across the United States. Its presence raised serious questions, especially given that Lauren's family insisted she did not use drugs recreationally. The ruling was classified as an accidental overdose. However, this conclusion did not satisfy the family. They questioned how fentanyl had entered Lauren's system and whether it had been knowingly or unknowingly consumed. As details of the case began to emerge, public interest grew rapidly. Lauren's family began speaking out, demanding transparency and accountability. They expressed frustration with how the Bridgeport Police Department handled the case. Their concerns included the failure to immediately notify the family, the lack of urgency in investigating LaFountain, the overall handling of the apartment and potential evidence. The case gained traction on social media, where many people compared it to other cases involving young women of color. Critics argued that the investigation lacked the thoroughness and urgency that might have been applied in other circumstances. Lauren's family retained civil rights attorney Ben Crump, known for his involvement in high-profile cases involving racial justice and police accountability. Crump and the family called for a full, independent investigation into Lauren's death. They raised concerns about potential negligence and bias in the handling of the case. An independent autopsy was also conducted at the request of the family. While it confirmed some of the findings of the original report, questions remained about the circumstances leading to the presence of fentanyl in Lauren's system. The family emphasized that Lauren had no known history of drug use, and that the combination of substances found in her body required further explanation. Several critical questions emerged during the investigation. 1. How did fentanyl enter Lauren's system? There was no clear explanation for how Lauren ingested fentanyl. Whether it was accidental, intentional, or introduced by another party remains unclear. 2. Why was LaFountain not treated as a suspect initially? Given that he was the last known person to see Lauren alive, critics argued that he should have been more thoroughly investigated from the outset. 3. Was the apartment properly processed as a crime scene? The family's observations raised doubts about whether all potential evidence was collected and preserved. 4. Why was there a delay in notifying the family? The method and timing of communication with Lauren's family became a major point of criticism. In response to public pressure, the Bridgeport Police Department acknowledged shortcomings in how the case was handled. The department launched an internal affairs investigation to review the actions of the officers involved. As a result of this review, one officer was placed on administrative leave for failing to properly follow procedures. The police department also stated that they would reevaluate their policies regarding death notifications and investigative protocols. Lauren's family filed a civil lawsuit against the city of Bridgeport and members of its police department. The lawsuit alleged negligence, emotional distress, and violations of civil rights. It argued that the handling of Lauren's case deprived the family of a proper investigation and closure. The legal proceedings brought further attention to the case and kept it in the public eye. Lauren Smith Fields' death became part of a larger conversation about disparities in how cases are investigated and reported. Advocates pointed to systemic issues, including the treatment of victims based on race, the handling of overdose cases involving unclear circumstances, the importance of thorough and transparent investigations. The case also highlighted the risks associated with online dating and meeting individuals for the first time in private settings. As of now, no criminal charges have been filed in connection with Lauren Smith Fields' death. The official ruling remains accidental overdose. If you've made it all the way to the end of this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss more amazing true crime stories like this one.